Senator Scott, please.
Thank you, Chairman. First, I want to thank each of you for being here. General Milley, one thing I hope at some point you'll address is the content of your calls with regard to the Chinese, and whether you what's been alleged is that you would warn them if there was going to be an attack. Also address whether there was any intelligence indicating that the Chinese were actually nervous. One thing that surprised me about what's been going on the last few months is the President has absolutely blamed everyone else but himself for the botched withdrawal of Afghanistan. He is the President of the United States. He has the ability to make these decisions. He can take all the advice he wants, but he gets to make the final decisions. He's blamed previous administrations. He's blamed the people of Afghanistan. He's blamed the military of Afghanistan, which I think is absolutely disingenuous. The people in the White House have even blamed our own military. Secretary Austin, some things you've said today actually surprised me. You said you were ready. You said you exceeded expectations. You said our credibility is solid. And you've said the President followed your advice on the evacuation. Let me just ask you, first question is, do you still believe that the most effective withdrawal strategy involves extracting the military, abandoning our military installations, and reducing our use of force and ability to use force before we got our civilians out?
Thanks, Senator. First of all, the decision was to end our military operations and draw down all of our forces and retrograde all of our equipment, and that was accomplished. General Miller, I think, put together a great plan and executed that plan in accordance with the plan. Also, a key part of the plan was to maintain an embassy in Kabul. And maintaining that embassy would allow us to continue to engage the government, to continue to provide resources to support the Afghan security forces. So the plan was to leave a diplomatic presence there. And in conjunction with that plan, we also were going to leave a small military force there to help secure the embassy. So that was the plan, Senator.
But you didn't address the issue that you made all these, if it was your plan, you've acknowledged it was your plan, and your plan said you would do all these things before we got our civilians out. I mean, when in the history of this country have we ever had the U.S. military say and have a plan that we will take our military out first before we take our civilians? I can't imagine that.
When you say civilians, are you talking about
citizens?
American citizens?
Yeah.
Now, the American citizens would come out once a non-combatant evacuation is declared. And until that point, typically we don't evacuate all the citizens in the country.
But we didn't hear. There's American citizens still there.
And we continue to remain engaged and work to get those citizens out, Senator.
But why would you propose a plan that didn't get all American citizens out? I just can't imagine ever in the history of this country our U.S. military would propose to leave a country without our citizens coming out first. I mean, have we ever done that before?
All of the American citizens wouldn't leave, Senator, unless there was a non-combatant evacuation. And, you know, the plan was to leave the embassy there, to continue to address the needs of our American citizens, to engage with the government. And so that was a part of the plan. Not, again, the plan was never to evacuate the American citizens and leave the embassy there.
Did it bother you when the President went on national television and said that he would not leave until all American citizens were taken out? Did it bother you that when he said that? Because it clearly was not truthful.
Now, Senator, you heard me say several times that we're going to work as hard as we can for as long as we can to get every American citizen out that wants to come out. And we continue to do that to this day.
Well, I'm running out of time, but one thing I want, when we have next round, I want to understand what decisions would you make differently today to save those 13 lives of servicemen and women that we lost at the Kabul airport? But thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, if I could comment on your first opening.